everyone, I'm Luke and welcome to Toons. Today's episode, we're going to be looking at the Ape Man on The Myth Behind the Monsters. The Ape Man first appeared in the 7th episode of the first season of Scooby-Doo Where Are You, titled Never Ape an Ape Man. In the episode, Daphne's uncle gets the gang's jobs as extras in his movie, The Ape Man of Forbidden Mountain. During filming, the Ape Man, posing as the film's Ape Man, begins terrorising the set, leading the stuntman and leading lady to quit. After nosying around the movie sets, discovering different clues, the gang find out that, spoiler alert for a 50-year-old episode, the Ape Man is really the stuntman. You know, the guy who should be wearing the Ape Man costume anyway. He was upset about not being cast as the male lead and wanted to shut production down in revenge. Actors. The Ape Man is a giant gorilla that walks on two legs, much like a man. And, according to legend, he burnt down the old mansion. And it was this legend that the movie was based on. In reality, he's a guy in a movie-quality gorilla suit. It must have been a pretty realistic suit to trick people into thinking he was a real Ape Man. I mean, I've seen movie suits from those times. And this is the part where I remind you to like the video. Really helps the video get seen by more people and allows me to keep bringing more myths at you. And if you're not subscribed yet, why not? Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you can be notified the next time there's a monster on the loose. Gorillas are the largest living primates with genomes directly related to humans. They exist in sub-Saharan Africa and are known to have 4, possibly 5, subspecies of gorilla, all of which evolved from a singular gorilla source during the last ice age. These subspecies of gorilla are the Western Lowland Gorilla, the Western Cross River Gorilla, the Eastern Lowland Gorilla, the Eastern Mountain Gorilla, and the Eastern Mountain Windy Gorilla. The Ape Man featured in the episode appears to be, I don't know, I don't know guys, it's a man in a gorilla suit. It's a cartoon of a man in a gorilla suit. I don't know what subspecies of gorilla it is. I mean, seriously. No. So, despite what Hollywood of yesteryear may have you believe, gorillas are pretty gentle in nature. And like Daphne points out in the episode, they're herbivores. That means they are vegetarian.
That's odd. Apes don't eat meat.
Okay, so she says apes don't eat meat, which technically isn't true. Chimpanzees do, but the gorillas, which is what the Ape Man is, don't, so she is technically right. Also, Jane Goodall's research about chimpanzees eating meat may not have been out when the episode was being made. I'm not entirely sure on the timeline that she released all this information. Okay, so where did this whole vicious gorilla thing come from? Well, King Kong, the 8th wonder of the world, debuted in 1933 from RKO Pictures, directed by Merian C. Cooper, who was fascinated by gorillas as a kid. See, as a kid he had this book, Expeditions and Adventures in Equatorial Africa, which frequently mentions the fierce gorillas. Of course, this was due to a lack of understanding about gorillas from the people that made that book. You just saw the size and the strength of them and thought, yeah, they must be vicious. Yeah. He is also believed to have drawn inspiration for the scenes where Kong carries Anne from a pair of statues by Emmanuel Fremier, Gorilla Abducting a Woman, 1885, and Gorilla Carrying a Woman, 1887. Now the Kong featured in the original 33 film and its rushed out sequel, Son of Kong, also the same year, were stop motion animated models, animated by Willis O'Brien, as opposed to a gorilla suit as seen in the episode. A suit would eventually be used for Kong, however, in the Japanese Toho-produced Godzilla vs. King Kong in 1962, and its follow-up sequel, King Kong Escapes, in 1967. That being said, the trope of a gorilla was not limited simply to King Kong, and following the release of King Kong, gorillas started to pop up in a lot of places. Sometimes they'd be stop motion like the original films, for instance The Mighty Joe Young, whereas a lot of other times it would simply be the cheaper option of a guy in a suit. In fact, it was quite common to see characters such as the Three Stooges frequently interact with a gorilla. Some notable examples of this include The Monster Maker, 1944, Spookbusters, 1946, Mighty Joe Young, 1949, The Bride and the Beast, 1958, Teenage Zombies, 1959, Circus of Horrors, 1960, Black Zoo, 1963, and of course Planet of the Apes in 1968. Of course, many of the Tarzan films as well also featured gorillas, as well as the gorilla-like species the Mangani, which were the people who raised Tarzan in the original films and novels. They weren't gorillas till Disney. And being that it was released so close to the debut of this episode, Planet of the Apes was probably at the forefront of the creators' minds when thinking about evil gorillas in films. The Ape Man has made a few appearances over the years in the Scooby-Doo franchise. He appears in the comics Never Ape an Ape Man, an adaptation of the original episode in the very first issue of Scooby-Doo Where Are You?, the very first Scooby comic, in 1970. He would also make an appearance in Big House Brouhaha, issue 50 of DC Comics Scooby-Doo, in 2001. In the 20th episode of the second season of Be Cool Scooby-Doo, Night of the Upsetting Shorts, we see the show reimagine yet another classic Scooby villain with the Ape Man. In Scooby-Doo Curse of the 13th Ghost, when the gang sell off memorabilia at the garage sale, the mask of the Ape Man is seen up for sale. And in addition to all those appearances, the Ape Man has of course been seen in various forms of promotional material for the show over the years. Thanks for watching this week's The Myth Behind the Monsters. Tune in next week when we take a look at Charlie the Funland robot. What did you think about the Ape Man? Did you enjoy learning about this old Hollywood trope? Thankfully, this trope has been retired and we don't really see evil gorillas anymore. And Hollywood doesn't seem to use it as much anymore because most people know that gorillas aren't that bad. You only tend to see the trope now if it's being subverted in some way or if it's based on a character that was created a while ago, for instance Gorilla Grodd. Let us know what you think down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers. Thanks for watching Tube of Toons. If you want more from the channel, hit subscribe. If you want to keep up to date with what's going on, follow us on our socials. Hope you liked it. Cheers.